So we got a few follow-ups today. Um, Yikes, there's way more on my mind that I think would be interesting to talk about than I could possibly get to. That gave me an audio confirmation in my ear. Now we're going to get
DougBot said,
audio on the
"Hi, how you
channel
doing?"
and SpeakerBot audio confirmation. So I've got all my confirmations in place. Big Beast build glitched seriously yesterday. That's why I didn't have a show yesterday. I don't think I can I can't give you the full rundown of that. I have video, I have pictures. Maybe we'll deal with that tomorrow. I'll give you the short rundown. And I've got emails and video comments that are from two people that are both follow-ups from prior conversations. So where to start? I don't know. Jim, I see that you're here early. Congratulations. And oh, I haven't popped out, chat. That's why it's not on my Alt Tab key. So a couple of days ago, I had a few glitches that happened during the show, things that did not work right. That would have been Wednesday, I think. Could have been Tuesday. Not certain which day it was, but my Alt Tab wasn't working. My clipboard history wasn't working. What else was there? I don't recall what the other symptoms were, but during the show, there were a few symptoms that came up. What the heck is going on? And then there was also during the collaboration with Carrie, where my main camera was very glitchy. During that show, hey there, Stormy. During that show, I discovered that since we were using StreamYard, if I exited OBS, then the video cleared up. And I wasn't streaming myself. I wasn't recording. I just had OBS open. And I was trying to use the virtual camera. And that was glitching. So when I reopened OBS, without switching to the virtual camera, without even turning virtual camera on, the video was glitchy. And then after the show was over, Carrie and I experimented with it a little bit further while we were still in StreamYard, but we weren't streaming. And I found out that if I changed my scene collection to anything other than what I use for this show, then the video worked fine. And I could even do virtual camera. So that led to a bunch of other troubleshooting, which I have found what I think is, well, not really what is the issue, but I did a whole bunch of other troubleshooting. Carrie and I emailed back and forth a little bit about it, and it's gone further than what I have informed him about so far. But what I found is that after doing all the troubleshooting, I restored to the Tuesday 10 a.m. backup, which was before the show with Carrie, because I had completed my troubleshooting. I want to unwrap all of the troubleshooting adjustments that I had made. And then I found that I had even more troubles. The OBS was going unresponsive even when I wasn't broadcasting. I couldn't even start a local recording. I couldn't end a recording. And then, and I have video to show this, OBS got up to, what was it, 30 gigabytes of memory that it was using, which is crazy high. But something that I had noticed when I restored that backup from Tuesday is when the computer restarted, and I did not capture video of this, it gave me a message saying that it was installing updates. Well, it's a week after Update Tuesday, but I recollected that back on Update Tuesday, for a reason that I don't remember, I had paused updates for a week. I don't always do that, but there was some reason I chose to do that. So the Tuesday of the collaboration with Carrie was the day that those updates would have started coming in. So during the show with Carrie, that would have been going on for my computer. It would have been wanting a restart for that. So then I restored to Monday, which would have been prior to the 7-day pause on my updates. And I disconnected Ethernet. So then after the restore, it came up, I deferred updates for a week, and now I'm operating just fine. The story's not over yet, because I've got to see what happens when I download and install those updates. So I might be trying that over the weekend. Let's go say hello in chat. That gives you the rundown of why I canceled yesterday. And I only discovered that I had a problem maybe an hour before showtime. When I realized I was going to have to do some more backup restores, I said, no, I'm not going to stress out to try to make a show happen at the same time. And then I got called out to a client's office at showtime anyway. Martin Hogg to Rick Lake, saw you in Carrie's last night in Carrie's show. Oh, awesome. How did that go? I listened to Carrie's show last night. I don't know if this, maybe you saw him in the chat room. I don't know. Chat scheduled for Friday. That's because I had a pinned comment in chat, because this show was scheduled yesterday, announcing that I would not have a show on Thursday. Sure sign of the apocalypse. Hello, Rand Israel, Jim, Brian Lightfoot, Martin Hogg, Rick Lakes, Selden Ball, Ski Man, Dougbot, Phil Stodd, and Marsman. Hello, Marsman. Marsman, I think I must have made you an approved user at some point along the line. Refresh my memory. What were you talking to me about? I'm recognizing, because you're in gray, I've turned people to, I make people moderators to recognize that they've been around. That way I can, really welcome somebody who's new. Say hello to Marsman, everybody. He's in Coleman, Wisconsin. I think, is it Wisconsin or is that Wichigan? Wichigan. No, there's no other W-I. I don't think. John Williams, hello. Alice, hello. Lawn Dog, hello. PC fall down, go boom. Okay, I don't want to spend too long in chat because I got to get to some people's follow-ups. There's Brian saying hello to Mars Man. I think you had done a video comment that I responded to. I don't remember offhand. John Williams. Brian Lightfoot, my wife told me that I should quit fooling around and act my age, so I took a nap. All right, you got a little bit of a chuckle out of that. I don't remember how many points I do for little chuckles. Little chuckles. I'm gonna take the time to go look it up, because I do want to get this better refined. Jokes. Chuckles is 200 points. And I think, let's see, Brian Lightfoot, triple click, and then come down here, Windows Key V, I have this pinned, add points, so double click on the name, paste it, whoops, no, keep forgetting that I got to do it this way, because that wasn't the last thing that I pasted. So 200. And that's going to be on a Stream Deck button, to where I can just press the button and the last name that I triple clicked on, it will just assign the points. Ugh. Skipping on me. There's people saying hello to Mars Man. Martin Hogg, yes, Doug, Carrie's show last night was 11 p.m. in the UK, so I didn't get much. Yeah, I saw him. He started one later than usual yesterday, and I think I listened to it all the way through, but was Rick on the show as a guest or just in the chat? Brian says 300,000. What is that? Yes, I commented Wednesday. One of your previous videos I watched. Yes, so I know that I check to make sure that you don't appear to be a, what do you call them? We call them a troll. So let's go ahead and make you a moderator. I don't ask you to actually perform moderator functions because everybody around here is a moderator. Not much you could do to them anyway. That just says that I've checked you out and that you are not a troll is the main purpose behind that. 300,000 is the new math. Okay, now I got to get on. I got to get over here too. Which way am I going to go? Let's go to the emails I have to follow up on. Martin Hogg with the Lenovo issue. I'll do a little review of this. 2 days ago, he said, I'm looking for some expert guidance before visiting the customer tomorrow. Lenovo IdeaPad, which crashes randomly, sometimes after 20-30 minutes, sometimes after a few seconds. Windows 11 24H2. Even had that problem with 23H2. Battery's good, fully charged, mainly just for browsing on Edge. I advised him to try another browser for test, and his comments indicate fan running okay, so it doesn't sound like it's overheating. I'll take a peek at that read chat. Oh, yes, I did hear that. John Williams is saying Kerry was surprised when I told him to check Secure Boot on the spaceship computer. He found it was not enabled. Well, guess what? I found that Secure Boot was not enabled on Big Beast Build this morning. And I went into BIOS and enabled it. I have no recollection of disabling that. Is something causing that uncommanded to be disabled? I don't know. Now, that was 2 days ago. Now, if I come up here and click on this left arrow, that'll go get to the second one. Further to this random switch off issue, I am now going tomorrow. So this was what he said yesterday. I note that lots of people seem to have this issue with this model. He connects the laptop to a large screen via HDMI. Also, one person on Google reported that the problem disappeared when he switched off live checking on Windows Defender. I'm going to take this off the screen for a moment and look at the email that he sent this morning, 20 minutes before showtime. So I really haven't absorbed this one yet because I was kind of busy then. I was looking over videos and pictures of the Big Beast Build issue to see if I could present it more today. Then I discovered, oh, I got a follow-up from Martin. Further to the Lenovo IdeaPad 3 random crashing issue for my customer, I visited this afternoon and ran several tests. Disk is okay. Windows 11 is fully updated. Reliability monitor showed the crash dates. Event viewer reported Windows not shut down properly. No malware. Device manager, all drivers are up to date. Okay, BIOS is up to date. However, customer uses the PC, now, all caps, right? That's got to mean something. Uses the PC with an HDMI cable feeding a large monitor and wireless keyboard and mouse. Laptop on shelf below. Okay, the laptop is on the shelf, I guess, below the monitor using a wireless keyboard and mouse. All right, I'm picturing this. I wondered if video output was struggling.
Read chat, please.
To power both laptop and large monitor. If video output was struggling to power both the laptop and large monitor. So we toggled to use only the large screen. Oh, I see. You were having both screens were on at the same time. We toggled to use only the large screen, and this appears to have resolved the issue with only one screen. So far, so good. Does this seem to you to make sense? So power, I struggled when you put the word power because the HDMI is not providing power to the monitor. But what he's saying here is that the HDMI output is sending a video signal to the external monitor, but that HDMI port is not sending the signal to the laptop. That's an internal connection. So that HDMI port is
Chat,
not
please.
actually powering both. Yeah, Rand Israel says the monitor is powered, has its own power. So I think he's just saying providing signal to both. Is that somehow causing the laptop to struggle? And he's thinking because it's a big monitor. I don't think an HDMI cable knows or has any awareness of how physically large that monitor is because it's sending out a certain resolution. I don't see that it cares the physical size of that monitor. I've never questioned that before. And I think I have in chat, Rand Israel with the read chat says, don't think it's power issue. Yeah, external monitor is powered by its own. So I don't, the HDMI is video and audio only. So it's not going to have any awareness or impact of that being a physically large monitor. And Rand Israel is agreeing with me on that. I'm deducing that that's what he's saying. To another device, resolution sent to the external device will increase the data usage. Yeah, but is he sending a extremely high resolution through that HDMI cable? And then is that HDMI cable up to the task? They're not all HDMI cables are created the same. Could it be that you need a higher quality HDMI cable, particularly if you're sending high resolution? If that HDMI cable is an old cable, that might be an issue. Various types of HDMI out there along with cable types. Yeah, so I'm thinking more along those lines. Now, when you set it to display only on that external monitor, could that somehow have lightened the load on the laptop that it's able to send out through that cable? Or was it just coincidence that now it's working okay? This laptop was not consistently crashing. So he did that work yesterday. How long did you stick around, Martin? Have you got a report that it has run for hours without any trouble since then? Or is it only the amount of time that you were there? Okay, I know that there are some other comments that I think are relevant, particularly, yeah, John
Read
Williams
chat,
here.
please.
Let's grab this before I move on to the video comment. John Williams, I think Secure Boot gets reset when you do a BIOS update on certain motherboards. Yeah, I think that is likely. And Kerry experienced that after doing when he did an optimized. It wasn't that Secure Boot was off on that computer. I don't think. I think he went in and did a BIOS update. And at some point he clicked to install optimized settings for the BIOS. And when he went to save and exit, it gave him a message that it was going to turn off Secure Boot as part of that operation, which means Secure Boot was on, but it was by virtue of loading optimized defaults that it was going to reset to have that off. And he was surprised that the motherboard manufacturer made that the default. Let's see what this last read chat was. Rand Israel, he was duplicating the same desktop to both screens or extending the desktop across them. I kind of deduce, I feel safe to deduce that he was duplicating the screens. That's why it was a nothing burger to just turn off the display on the laptop. A lot of people don't know that you can do that. They plug in the external monitor by default, Windows duplicates, and they don't even realize that you can turn off the laptop's display. So I suspect he was duplicating. All right, if there are other comments in chat that you think I really should notice and call them out and include them in the verbal conversation, and please direct my attention to that. I'm going to go to this one on video comment. It's a follow-up from Chevy. How do you want to pronounce that? Chevy or Chevy? From the collab with Carrie, where he had a Microsoft Word not responding. He said it was a large document. So he gave some follow-up information here. Doug and Carrie, thanks for the Microsoft Word is not responding discussion on Wednesday, April 15th. No, that was Tuesday, right? April 15th was Tuesday. Yes. And the file size 51 megabytes. That's very large. That's a very large document. However, I have, let me check here to actually show this evidence. I have a very large document for testing purposes on behalf of a client. Let's see. All I'd have to do a blur to hide it. So you'll just take my word for it. It is 201 megabytes and it works just fine. I tested it specifically in relation to Chevy's comment. 201 megabytes works just fine in Word. Now, the reason I have that large document is because my client was having trouble with emailing large documents. We do have them configured to be able to email documents of that size, but it only works within, that size only works within Microsoft 365, or might even be only within their domain to each other. I think it's Microsoft 365 because most mail servers won't handle them that large. 51 megabytes. The April cumulative update for Windows 11 24H2 successfully installed April 8th. It's a 12th Gen i7. 64 gigabytes of RAM. Microsoft Office Home and Student 2021. The C drive, 324 gigabytes of 1.8 terabytes in use. It's a Samsung SSD 990 Pro. The D drive storage, 84 gigabytes out of 931 gigabytes in use. And it's a 990 Pro 1 terabyte. So that's a decently equipped computer.
Chat, please.
So now I'm thinking that, I will catch that in a minute, John. Now I'm thinking there's maybe something else going on with the computer. What I want to do is take that file to another computer, see if the same problem on another computer. I have had Microsoft Word documents, especially when they're large, have elements within them that are somehow damaged, corrupted, or somehow excessive in their own size. Like if there's pictures, if there's graphs that were imported from Excel that are somehow causing trouble. And the way I have troubleshot that is, first step is I'll Control A, select everything in the document, Control C, copy, create a new document, Control V, paste, to paste all of it in the new document, save that new document, close the original document, see if the new document has the same behavior. If it does not, then that means the original Microsoft Word document had some kind of a corruption or problem issue in the document's header. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Hang on a moment. Some kind of trouble in the document that is not the actual data in the document. So that's why the copy and paste. If the problem follows to the new document, then copy half of the document, paste it into a new document. See if you still have the trouble, and keep rinse and repeat, do the same thing. And until you get to a point where you find that the most recent half that you copied does not have the problem. So then you copy the other half and you find that it does have the problem. The problem followed it. That means some element within that remaining residual amount has the problem. You can narrow it down to what actually has the problem. And I have successfully fixed several documents that had troubles using this technique. Jim is asking macro issues in the document. Yeah, so are there macros in the document? There's another possibility. So I failed to get the timestamp. If somebody would be so kind to go back and tell me what the seconds down here in the bottom right corner was reading when I started addressing Chevy, I would appreciate that. Solve how to upgrade. Let's do this one because I need to be doing this right. And we're not overtime yet. 1550. Okay, load Emma. Load them, like load them up. Says thank you regarding from the video solved how to upgrade Windows 10 Home to Windows 10 Pro. You are welcome. Load them up. He doesn't say up there, but I threw that in because maybe I'm right. We're here 6 days a week to answer people's questions about issues that they're having with Windows. So that's an email address that you can send a question about an issue you're having. Even if you're not a regular viewer, that's absolutely fine. Or you can leave a comment on any of my videos if you're having an issue with something. That is the main reason this channel exists. So thank you for making the comment. I'll give you a thumbs up and a heart and click reply to finish that out. Now, let's see. Did anyone give me that timestamp? You didn't direct my attention to it, so I'll have to rewind to find that. I wonder if I still have anything highlighted. Yeah, I do. Orange, have you ever backed up computers via LAN to an external USB hard drive? Yes, I have. I have a client's office where the bookkeeper in the office, I do not have backups directly on her computer, but her computer has the QuickBooks company files and Quicken company files, multiples of them. On the file server, I have a backup software and it reaches to a file share on that computer and backs up that folder. It's a data folder on her C drive. It's called data. It backs it up to an external USB connected hard drive on that server. That's an old server. It's a 2.0 USB. Hang on a moment. So yes, I have. Is there some other question behind that? Some other reason you're asking that you care to discuss? If not, then don't bother responding. I'm catching oranges that might have a question. I saw some mention of Ken Stout. Oh yeah, he is there.
Read chat, please.
What all has Ken Stout said today? Oh, okay. I will respond to that in a moment, Greg. Let's see. 23 minutes late. Call me Jim. Okay. No, nothing there I need to respond to. And then let's get to this last read chat. I should have mentioned that it was in reference to Macrim Reflect. That backup software that I was using on that server was not Macrim Reflect. And actually, it has Macrim Reflect now, but that backup was failing of recent on her old computer. Excuse me. She recently has a new computer, one of these B-Link computers, and I set up a local backup on that computer rather than going through the network. So we're no longer doing that backup through the network to an external USB, external drive. The USB is not external. The drive is external.
Red chat, please.
Chevy's comment. Oh, 1,210 seconds. Thank you. Thank you. 1210. And thumbs up and heart. Is he in chat? I don't think so, because I don't think, oh, let's see. Chevy's comment. Let's go see if I've made him an approved user yet. Always approved comments. So he's not yet on always approved for comments. Now I don't make a moderator right away because I want to see somebody show up in chat. They're going to show up in gray, so that way I can recognize them and welcome them before making them a moderator. Now he might be watching the show right now. If so, speak up quickly because we're almost done. We're 42 seconds into overtime right now. I haven't tried it, but I think trying to image a machine to another computer with USB external drive would be extremely slow. Absolutely. And imaging to a cloud backup service like Magnusbox. I do that, and it's slow. It depends, of course, on the upload speed of the internet connection. And my client's commercial internet connection, it apparently the upload speed is throttled per computer because it's actually a managed ISP where they manage the router that's in the office, not me. All right, I think we'll go call that a wrap. I am planning the usual Saturday show. Well, usual in terms of starting time. Nothing else about it as usual. Hang on a moment. I will not have a show on Tuesday. Gotta go get this. Gotta go get them do that job. Here's the email address if you want to send a question by email, or you can put a comment on any of my videos. Have a great day. I've got a redirect set for Carrie's show, comparing, I think, 5 different, very affordable, I think they're all mini computers. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.
That's all, folks.
Tune in 6 days a week for Windows support, the help you seek. Send an email, leave a comment, join the chat. Our tech-savvy crew is where it's at. Not just me, but a whole community, helping you solve tech mysteries. With friends who are here almost every day, we love to chat and help you find your way. So subscribe now, be part of the team, for Windows support and more than you've dreamed. Join the fun, don't miss a single stream. At LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts or simply where tech support supreme. Where tech support supreme. Tune in 6 days a week for Windows support, the help you seek. Send an email, leave a comment, join the chat. Our tech-savvy crew is where it's at. Not just me, but a whole community, helping you solve tech mysteries. With friends who are here almost every day, we love to chat and help you find your way. So subscribe now, be part of the team, for Windows support and more than you've dreamed. Join the fun, don't miss a single stream. At LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts or simply more deeply VB, like tech support supreme. We're tech support supreme. We're tech support supreme. Tech support supreme. supreme.